Fine Chinaman here, and today I want to talk about a very common pattern that's been around for a long time, and that's blue willow. So, stick with me. All right, so blue willow. Let's talk about it here. Many different manufacturers have made blue willow patterns or very close variants to them over the years. This is what a typical blue willow scene looks like. This is called Willow Wear. They don't call it blue willow, but it's called Willow Wear by Royal China. Now, this is an older piece, but blue willow is still being made today. Most of the rest of these pieces on the table are new. Let me show you two that I picked up in Europe. So I picked up this bowl in Europe. It was new. I just saw it at a store. They just had these serving bowls. And it was just before I left England. I had a few British pounds left. I was a little concerned. I didn't want to run out of money. But I could have actually bought two of them. And I wish I had now because I've got enough change to where I could have bought a second one. But it was really close. So I just bought one. So this is made by Churchill. Let me show you the stamp. And Churchill patterns are pretty common, and we can still find these today here in the U.S. They're still being made. They're still in production. We'll come back to Churchill in a minute. I've got an interesting little story about Churchill. The other one I got in England was, this is English ironstone tableware, and this is a blue willow, and I really like this one because of the edging. Notice this here has the traditional edging. Do you see the difference between the edges on these two? The center part of the pattern is very close to being the same, but the edge is very different. So I saw a set of 4 of these in England, and I picked them up, and I purchased them. And I've since seen a couple in antique shops, and actually it's been a little pricey for blue willow. Funny thing is, a few years after that, I was watching some rerun TV shows. Some of you have probably seen the Munsters. They always eat off of blue willow. Well, in their older series, they were eating off this exact one. I recognized it because of the edge. I said, oh, I have some of those. So this was in the early seasons of the Munsters TV show. So kind of neat. I don't know what manufacturer they had for the later seasons, because in the later seasons it had this typical background, and with the black and white photography and no up close pictures of it, it's really difficult to tell what company made the later china that the Munsters used. So after I started driving, I started stopping at this store that had open stock of several different china patterns, and one of them was blue willow by Royal Wessex. So here's blue willow by Royal Wessex. This is a bowl. It has a scalloped, ruffled kind of edge to it. And I'll show you the back stamp. And it was open stock, so I would go through and I would get a few pieces every week. I ended up building up a huge set of it, which I still have to this day. But the funny thing was, one day when I was looking through the bowls, what happened? I found this bowl. Looks the same, doesn't it? It's the same bowl, except look what's on the back. It's a Churchill back stamp. The same Churchill back stamp that I had bought this smooth bowl in England. I came to find out, now I hadn't been into China that long, but I came to find out that Churchill owns Royal Wessex. But the Churchill pieces, here's another Churchill piece that I got later here in the US, smooth rim. Typically they're all smooth, but for some reason, one of the Royal Wessex ruffled edge ones got the Churchill stamp. So I grabbed that, And when I saw the stamp, I recognized it because I knew what I had bought in England. So it was kind of exciting to see that they were related to each other. I started looking then for any more Churchill pieces. I thought, are there any more of these? So I looked through every piece they had in that open stock. I looked through tons of stuff. I found one more. But here's the deal. So here is a Royal Wessex cup and saucer. It's got the ruffled edge. It's ruffled around the cup too. But it's just stamped or embossed like made in England on the bottom of the cup. This was their display up high where nobody could reach it. It had been up there for years. This is a Churchill cup. It's not stamped Churchill, it's just stamped made in England like all their cups are. But it's smooth. It doesn't have any ruffle to speak of. It's very smooth. Actually, I'm feeling a tiny bit, but not much. And I've since seen these for sale secondhand, and they're always with Churchill saucers. So this is a Churchill cup that got mixed in the shipment also. So interesting stuff. You never know what you're going to find out when you start digging deeper and looking into details of things. Anyway, that's just a sample of Blue Willow, and I wanted to show it to you, and I will take you in close right now to one of my favorite Royal Wessex Blue Willow dinner plates. And I'll show you some of the other ones because the color is different. See, if you're going to collect Blue Willow, some people go for the really light, some people go for the really dark. So let me show you that. All right, so here is a Royal Wessex dinner plate that I would consider one of the lightest ones. Here is kind of the average. This is what most of them look like. And then, my favorite, this really dark one here. And that's part of the neat thing about Blue Willow. If you look in historic pictures or historic setups where you go to museums and they have the old Blue Willow set that maybe the household used, they were all different colors. They weren't all dark. They weren't all light. So it's kind of neat to have a variety of them. And I'll show you up close here the back stamp of Royal Wessex. If you like this video, please click the like button below and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.